Hello.
Hello.
Here we are. Sorry. The one came way too quick. I wasn't ready.
Oh my gosh. No. Well, and then for those out there, like half the time we like start recording and then we get these weird pop-up messages.
Hmm.
And then I never know, like, is it telling me like, oh, this is bad, start over, or whatever. That was just ridiculous. I think this one's just saying like upgrade or something. I don't even know.
Upgrade and save today.
Yeah, I know pretty much. I'm like, gosh, what is this? A pop-up? Like I'm being advertised. Yeah. Marketing is marketing
That's right.
for this platform. Yeah. So anywho, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, take every opportunity. It's getting crazy though, speaking of marketing. Like, I can't believe how much spam I'm getting now through text messages.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I've gone through a deep dive and like I love Reddit and I love, there's another forum called Quora if some people use both, I don't know, whatever floats your boat. And like Reddit, I like honestly read Reddit comments and posts quicker than I'll read a Google review or a review, in general. Anywho, marketing is now marketing in Reddit to appear authentic, but it's advertising. So it's kind of, and I'm an advocate of
Hmm.
it. I believe in marketing. You can actually make a lot of revenue on advertising in Reddit. Tress and I went to a conference a couple years ago, and Reddit was a big place that a huge platform people were talking about, and so there's value in it from the business
Yeah.
marketing side. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it, but from the human user side, I'm like, oh no, they're ruining Reddit. So
Yeah.
it's like, what's real? Yeah,
Yeah. What isn't able to be bought anymore? That's the question.
yeah, pretty much.
There's a
So
price on it.
on everything, every little
On
square they're
everything.
popping in. So
Yeah.
it's okay. It's how I have a job, I guess. So I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that aspect, and then just I don't know. Some of it too is fraud, I think,
For
like
sure.
in
For
my
sure.
messages. Anyway, and then this week I had to suspend my Venmo account. It got hacked somehow.
I don't like
I'm
Venmo
like,
because
what the
mine was
hell?
hacked. Mine was hacked several years ago and they like changed my image and like took over the whole account. And it was the most violating feeling I've ever felt in my life. Like I went into the account and it was connected to my bank. And so I
Yeah.
no longer do that. I like connect it to a specific card. But now I don't even use Venmo anymore. I use Cash App, but that's a different story.
Well,
Sympathy. I feel for
yeah.
you because that's awful, and I've been there.
Well, so mine wasn't the same thing as yours, but somehow it got accessed, I guess I should say, other than hacked. It
Hmm.
got accessed, and I saw this charge popped up for DoorDash 2 nights ago. Well, I live in a place where DoorDash
There's
doesn't
no door.
exist.
It
So
was
I'm
me.
like, what the hell? Yeah, what'd you order for 9.99? I'm like, and also, what can you get for 9.99 from DoorDash? Like, are they ordering a Snickers bar? I mean, what can you
What?
with the fees and stuff? You're not going to get anything. But somehow they billed it to my Venmo account.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I kind of feel like you. I may just be done with Venmo.
I'm a
So,
Cash App girl, and shameless plug here. They're one of my clients, and
mm,
honestly, I've had a wonderful relationship with them, and I stand by the Cash Apps. So, anyways, meow meow meow.
anyways,
Yeah, I
there's our
like.
opinion on digital
Yeah,
money, people. You heard it
do
here
as you
first.
wish. Yeah, do as you wish with that
Our
information.
interests take.
Yeah.
All
Anywho,
right. Well, should we just dive into our topic today?
yeah, let's roll.
Yeah. Let's roll. I'll
Let's
let you
roll.
intro this because
Okay.
this was something that you brought. I mean, I love the topic, but you have some dialogue around what made you think about
Yeah.
this. And I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. So if you are on the internet at all, except Tressa,
Yeah.
you
I'm
have
like, how do I miss
probably,
this stuff?
I don't know. I have to send it to her at this point. But, or if you are a Netflix subscriber, uh, or if you have a child, but most adults are watching this, so you don't even need a child to see this movie. But the animated movie K-pop Demon Hunters, it came out like the beginning of July, and my daughter was obsessed with it. I'm bopping to the music. I enjoy it. I'm still listening to it. She's still listening to it. It hasn't stopped. It's like the number one movie Netflix has ever made. It's like broke all these records. The soundtrack, honestly, I wish they would just drop a soundtrack. This fake girl band. I mean, it was wonderful. But anywho, I've thought about it every week we've gotten on the podcast. And I'm like, oh, no, that's kind of silly. Or where am I going to go with this? And obviously I've been very pop culture-y the last couple weeks. So I'm like, okay, do I want to do this again? Like, gosh, they're going to be like, what is Myra doing? Just like digesting the media, like, what is she, why is she watching this stuff? But the movie is not just they do hunt demons, but the demons are these like spiritual creatures. There's a lot of it is produced by a Korean director and cast, and so there's a lot of other elements into this that ties into the movie. But the demons are classified by these creatures, and they have like these purple marks all over their body, which signifies like, okay, I'm a demon, which there's a whole lot of even symbolism in that alone. But there is a main girl group who sing, and they sing to seal the honeymoon so that the demons can go away, so the demons can stop hurting people. And that is if I spoiled the movie for you, sorry. But these girls, the main girl, the main singer, her name is Rumi, and she is like the leader of this group. And you find out, this is the plot twist, spoiler alert, sorry folks, she is half demon, half human. So like her whole mission in life is to literally obliterate the demons, right? Like she wants them to go away, they hate the demons. And throughout the movie, they're trying to write this song. Like they're trying to write this song that's like the best song ever to like seal the honeymoon, to make the demons go away. And her friends in this girl group keep saying like, demons are horrible, demons are trash, demons are, I mean, not like exactly, but just really brutal words around demons.
Brutal words.
And she's just like, kind of like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And like, she won't like go swimming with them or wear any clothes. She always stays covered up. She's hiding herself constantly. And you find out she also has purple marks because like I said, she's half demon, half human. And so really that's the whole main part of the movie is this girl's journey with 1, self-acceptance, 2, self-worth, 3, you've got the signals, the marks, what do they represent? You've got symbolism to represent being a demon. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole lot of messaging in the movie. Well, one of the songs is called Golden. And the lyrics, I'll just read a little bit of the lyrics here. But she says, I was the queen that I'm meant to be. I lived 2 lives, tried to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Called a problem child because it got too wild. And so like within those lyrics alone, she's talking about living 2 lives. She didn't really know her identity. She's obviously got split energy. She's trying to figure out, play both sides, try to be a demon, try to be this person. I mean, totally relatable. Think about being fully in your authenticity and you're trying to fit in and you're trying to, navigate a world, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Then later on it goes, I'm done hiding. Now I'm shining like I'm born to be. We're dreaming hard. We came so far. Now I believe. And so then it goes down to, like we're golden. And so I'll stop there. I won't give you the whole song, but with those lyrics, I won't keep reading the whole song. You guys can listen to it. It's everywhere. But that alone, I love it. I love it so much because it's like you're being authentic, you're living your life, you're shining, you're golden, you're fully in yourself, you love yourself, you're done with the shame, which to me, honestly, the marks represent shame or things we're hiding from or different things in our lives that we wear on ourselves. And, like part of the movie, she's in self-isolation because of that, not feeling worthy. But really where this hit at home is, I was driving home one day and like I said, my daughter's super obsessed with this song. Well, she, but not like normal people eczema, like really, really elevated eczema. She also has asthma, which those things are tied together in the body. And I do know there's an emotional component to that. I would not be on this podcast if I didn't believe in that, or I wouldn't be talking to you guys. There's a whole lot going on. But like physically, it is very difficult for her. She scratches all night. She don't really sleep well. It makes her very irritable. Her mood can change, and there are other things that I never really thought about is like how she feels about herself and about her body and about her skin. And I mean, she's 6 years old, and at 6 years old, I really didn't think two craps about myself. I was like, I wish I could be 6 again because I was just like, there was no like, what does my hair look like? What am I wearing? Then I was very more free with myself. I mean, I'm pretty free now, but you get what I'm saying. Like there was less intrusive thoughts about yourself, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And, and here she is, and I know this. And I know that it's a lot. People ask her questions, they ask her even little kids will ask her questions like, what's wrong with you? Why does your skin look like this? it can get broken and the skin can be broken. It almost looks like psoriasis. It appears all over the body. It's now appearing on her face and around her eyes. And so that can also cause things and like make her look sick. There's just a whole plethora of stuff happening, right? And in the car, she goes, you know, Mom, I feel like Rumi with the patterns. The pattern, I mean, and I have it's patterns, but I have an accent, so patterns is just hillbilly. But the pattern, the patterns on her body, I'm like Rumi. I feel like her, and you know, it's not so bad that I have eczema now, right, Mom? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not bad anyways. But I'm over here like crying, right, because I'm like, you know, like my poor 6-year-old's expressing and she's relating to this character, this fictional character who is visibly marked on her body. And there is a theme that's obviously enough for a 6-year-old to pick up about identity, loving yourself. And honestly, if she watched the movie and that's the one thing she took away from it, then yeehaw, right? Like if it needed to be whatever that was for her, and she's totally right, you know, like ultimately it's like hearing my child talk about this and this fictional character, you know, all that's really saying to me and why I brought this up to Tressa too is just like accepting these hidden or vulnerable parts of yourself and like what does this look like, whether you're an adult, whether you're a child, and really trying to harness those aspects of your life and like really live in them and live in your skin and like really be you.
Yeah, I love that. I loved it. I love that for Nola too.
Yeah.
And I think it's so cool because this is a fictional character, but it really isn't. It's
Yeah.
a representation of people, of humanity, right?
Yeah.
When we can allow vulnerability and exposure to who we are in what we perceive, and I'm using quotes as an imperfection. Right? Even the words that Nola used were powerful to me. It's not so bad that I have it now, right, Mom? Like she had made a story. We talked about this a couple of episodes ago, and she's 6 years old. Imagine, like we talk about when our programming starts, it starts very young. She had made a story up at some point because of her getting asked questions, her looking different than 90% of the kids she's around, that this is something that's bad.
Yeah.
And this character gave her familiarity, it gave her vulnerability, it gave her a character to see that has a different appearance, and she's still powerful and strong, right? Because she's stepping into that power. And I think it is a powerful message, and I think it just goes to reiterate like how society has dictated, specifically through the external appearance of what is beautiful and what is acceptable and what is, I mean, my God, we're human beings, and this just came to my mind. We're human beings, and sometimes we rate people on a level of 1 to 10 on beauty, and I've done it myself. I mean, this is something I just thought of. I'm not proud of it. But, you hear people, well, she's about an 8. Oh, he's about a 6. Yeah. I mean, how horribly demeaning is that to do to ourselves and to others? Gosh, I'm getting emotional. Didn't think I would. But, I just think maybe I'm getting emotional because I participated. And it's just, we don't see past the external sometimes. And when Myra brought this today, and she's like, I don't know where we're going with this. And this might sound really weird. And she started that way. And she started to tell me the story. I said to her, it's so funny because right before we got on the podcast, I was looking at a social media post, and it had said, I'm finally comfortable in my skin, and now my skin is sagging. And I kind of laughed. I'm like, unfortunately, sometimes why would it take us, so many years, and not just as an indication of age, to really become comfortable? But I'm one of those people, like, more comfortable with who I am today than I ever have in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it's, I look back on some of the pictures of even 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And from a society perspective, I didn't have wrinkles. I didn't have some of the things that I have today, but yet I was uncomfortable. I begrudged that girl. I beat her up, and so I just think it's all of our responsibility to start to change those kind of behaviors first with yourself and then what you're putting out to other people.
Yeah.
I think it's something we all need to think about every day.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I'm not proud. I've participated myself, and I've been on the other end of it too, and
Yeah.
I think about like I always have a number in mind, like, oh, if I'm that number, I'll be happy. That's terrible. Or like number as in
Yeah.
weight, I should explain.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
figured. Yeah.
but I haven't seen a scale in a long time. And like I'm with you, like I'm not perfect about loving myself by any means, but I'm a hell of a lot better than I've been in years towards myself. And and I think about it too, and especially as Magnolia gets older, and even you've said it don't matter what I say, she feels the energy. But I think about the words I do use, and I think about the way I look at myself and the clothes I wear. And what I've been starting to do with her too is like I'll style an outfit and be like, "Oh, what do you think?" And she'll be like, "Oh, it's beautiful, mom." And so like
Uh-huh.
instead of me worrying about what I think about the outfit, I ask her opinion. Like, "What do you think?" And then we play and laugh. It's more of like, I don't know, it gets me out of my head about it instead of me standing in a mirror like, "Oh my gosh, do I even like the way this looks or do I like the way that, what you've been there,
Mhm.
I'm sure. It's like, so we've been doing these things and like making it more fun of what we're wearing and like how fun it is, and like I'll get cheetah print pants and she has cheetah print pants, like little cute things like that, and like this and that, and she's got glasses and she don't really want to wear them, and she already is self-conscious of her skin, and here goes her eyes, and all these things. It's like, let's go, keep going. And so I get it. And so I've been wearing my glasses more, or like I've been doing different things to just show her. And what is really cool though is you're right, it's all programming. And that's not the cool part. But what's cool is she was telling me about a girl at school who helped her zip her pants, which sounds kind of weird, but first grader. I taught her how to button her pants. We're not even on the kind of jeans where you have to hook them in the hole. That's a whole different
Yeah.
exercise, right? So this is just a snap button. But we got the snapping down finally. But I'm like, you got to remember, zip your pants, like, because you don't want anybody, that's terrible. But I'm like, you don't want people making fun of you, right? Like, you don't want to walk around with your pants unzipped. And so we practiced that, got it down or whatever. Well, she came home and told me, she said this girl helped her zip her pants. And I'm like, that was really nice. Like, how nice was that? She said, yeah, she said she saw my zipper down and she's like, oh, let me help you. And she was another first grader and she helped her zip her pants. Yeah. And I'm like, well, what was she like? Tell me about her. And all she said was, oh, she's a new girl. And I'm like, new to school, because she's in a new class. So like everybody's half of them are new to her because they
Yeah.
weren't in her class
Yeah.
before, Anyways, she didn't describe the girl in any other way. She didn't tell me the skin color. She didn't say if she was heavy, round, skinny, short, tall. Didn't tell me her shoe size. Didn't tell me what clothes the girl wore. She said she had beautiful hair and had beads in her hair. And she said it was so cool. I loved her hair. That's it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I told Blake that. I was like, one, yay, yay. Like, she's describing people as people, like I'm like, okay, something's landing. We're landing, we're landing somewhere. Here's a win. But it was just like, I expected the programming to come out of her mouth. I
Yeah.
expected to tell me all sorts of attributes of this person. And all she said was, oh, she's a girl, she's new, and she had beads in her hair. And that's about as far as I got. She walked off. That was it.
And she was
and
kind. Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind. Like, but
Yeah.
none of it mattered. She just told me about the girl being kind. And, and I was telling, Blake, and I'm like, where did we all get lost in that? Like, where did we get so lost in just seeing people as people, seeing human beings, seeing their characteristics, their virtues, their abilities, their gifts, their talents, what they bring to the table, what makes them unique or special or diverse? Where did we lose just that kind of talk and conversation? Like, where did that go? And, I think about, I grew up and my parents, I love them deeply, but there was some jokes and mockery, and I don't shame them for that because I've participated in that too. So I can't lie and say that I'm perfect and I've never said a sly remark about someone or joked or commented on an appearance. But I think about the way that it was used in joking and laughter. I try to Blake and I, when we don't talk about people like that, we don't describe people, you know, we don't participate in that kind of conversations, and we definitely don't do that in front of our children either. But we don't even do that in private. Like we don't sit around and hee-haw about people, you know. And I think
Mhm.
about adults in my life previous, you know, as a youth, and they did all the time. Like I think appearance was the number one thing everyone talked about. Like I mentioned before on the podcast, whether it was their own appearance or whether it was someone else's. And, you know, I hate that. It's unfortunate, but it is like this programming, this environment, these type of conversations that I grew up around. I know others have, and others have participated or been around in their lives. But, you know, as a parent with a child, that is something that I've been truly aware of is what are we saying and how are we discussing people and what kind of remarks are we making about people?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think you said something like, where did we start to go off the rails, right? Where did
Mm-hmm.
we stop viewing people for their vibration, ultimately, their
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
qualities that they're bringing versus she has blonde hair and she had blue eyes and blah, 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 or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And I don't know if we've ever done that. I mean, I guess I hope we have at some point. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't experienced it because my family, especially on my mom's side, like there's always a conversation about appearance. Like that's
Uh-huh.
just the way I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And like as people talk about other people, it always has something to do with the appearance, the gender, the color of their skin,
Mm-hmm.
there's always where their dialect is from.
Yeah.
All of that is how I've grown up.
Yeah.
So if you kind of talked about that, I think how often do I do that? And I just did it the other day, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
as I described a situation to a friend. And this woman's energy was vibrant and beautiful, and I was
Mm-hmm.
so drawn to her. But when I was telling the story to somebody, I
Mm-hmm.
used her physical form instead of what I
Mm-hmm.
just said to you.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm going to challenge myself to really, now that I'm aware, because awareness is 90% of change, now that I'm aware that I do that even more than I realized, I'm going to challenge myself to shift that and
Yeah.
focus on the qualities of the people, the vibration that they gave me, the experience that they gave me.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely in my DNA, it's in my
Oh
ancestral
yeah.
energy deeply.
It's
You know,
deeply in mine too. Like I said, if
yeah,
they're not talking about themselves, they're talking about someone else.
yeah. Oh, same thing. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
like,
same thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Like they're aging, talking about their
Yeah.
own appearance and then they're talking about others. And like, some of the first if you don't see my family for a while and you show up, you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
know like, oh, you're looking healthy or you're looking skinny or you're
Oh
looking
yeah.
this or you're looking that or
Oh yeah.
it's just the way it was,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Well,
So
same thing. I think like
yeah.
mutually, I know four people who announced this last week they're on a diet in my like immediate family. Then like I had another family member justify their health choice. And I said, why do you feel the need to justify? Like, if you found something that's working for you and you feel happy in your skin, one, why do you even need to tell anybody? Like,
Exactly.
let's just
Yeah.
start there. Why do you even need to tell first? Second, why do you need to justify it? Like, if you think rubbing an apple peel on your arm is reducing your weight, then go for it, bro. Like, if it's working and you feel good and you feel happy and you're removing the weight for your bones and your body, like, yeehaw, go for it.
Yeah.
But I started questioning and they got very defensive about it because I'm like, why did you need to tell and why do you need to defend?
And what was they couldn't really
Oh, they
articulate it. It's
couldn't. No,
just
they just
yeah.
kept defending. They kept
Yeah.
giving like a roundabout answer. It was still like, well, this person's doing it for this reason. And I'm like, I don't care what Jim John's doing. Like, that still don't
Yeah.
answer the question. And then they're like, oh, well, I thought you would just want to know. Well, okay. Like it was just this loop de loop. Like no one can actually give an answer. And I
Hmm.
mean, it's just all consuming, especially amongst my family, like to just talk about it all the time. That or
Yeah.
money, but usually appearance and weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to challenge myself to really pay more attention to that. I'm really glad that we had this conversation because, again, it helped me with a level of awareness that I wasn't quite yet at. And it's interesting. I wrote this down because you were talking about split energy earlier.
Hmm.
And we've talked about split energy before.
Yeah.
Showing up in your authenticity in every situation versus some. Sometimes that's hard. And I think I've talked about this a little bit before on the podcast of, sometimes in my corporate job, I maybe wasn't finding my full authenticity. I would sometimes limit that or not be who I intended to be. And I've really shifted that in the last 6 months, I would say. I've really worked on it. And it was really cool today. We had a team activity with my team and we were sharing some strengths and weaknesses with each other. And one of the gals that I worked with said something to me, and it was such a beautiful compliment. I don't think she realized what she said, but she said, one of the things that I love is that you're the same person here as you are outside of here. Like you are the same. Like there's not a different Tressa that I get at work versus a different Tressa that I get, if we're at the park together.
Yeah.
And it just was so cool because I love when the universe gives you confirmation that you're on the right track, because that has been one of my goals. And for somebody outside of myself to see the shift, or she didn't even see that. It gave me confirmation that the shift is happening.
Yes.
And so it was just a beautiful gift that I am reducing that level of split energy in that environment, and somebody else is recognizing it. So
awesome.
I also, it was really cool. And playing into that, where there was a conversation about, with the same team yesterday morning, about compliments. Now, we're in a work situation, so sometimes it can get a little weird, but we're just talking about like, why is it that if you want to give somebody a compliment, like just freely give it if it's authentic, right? Like sometimes you hold back or you worry about how it's going to be taken. And, I try really hard to, like, if I see something about somebody and I think it's beautiful, I try to share that. And I think humanity, again, gets held back by, is this the appropriate place, or am I the right person? But if you're thinking it and it's something kind, then I think, you should be sharing that more about yourself and others.
I love that. And I think that too, like, one, that's awesome to even get the confirmation, and then to have the conversation too about giving the compliments. I think it goes back to like some things that I like realized I needed. Not that I need validation, but I was looking for appreciation, which is different. Was giving and giving and giving, and I wasn't feeling appreciated. So there was an imbalance in my corporate job. And so like giving that compliment to those people could be that appreciation that they're looking, or that they feel an imbalance of. And so like being empowered to give that compliment or to make that nod or that gesture, especially in a corporate setting, is just one, to just hear it goes further and further, and there's a larger ripple effect, I believe. But I think what also came up when you're talking for me is like being able to receive a compliment, or to receive and to like acknowledge it and to feel worthy of it. Because I got an accolade at work. I laugh because, again, it's a deflection. I'm like, well, like, I don't know what to do with this. And I obviously, again, was looking for appreciation. I didn't feel the balance. There was a big imbalance with, I was giving, and didn't feel the appreciation. And then it all came at once, like a lot of appreciation for me, like too much appreciation for me, not too much, but it was just like, oh God, I don't even know what to do now. And like we had this little, like we do like a quarterly like town hall. It's not a town hall, but it's more low key. Town halls are terrible. It doesn't matter, corporate or non-corporate, town halls suck. So you know what I'm talking, but anyway.
Yeah.
They do like a spotlight. So like I was the spotlight employee for the quarter. And then it just like snowballed. So like people were calling me employee of the month, but they're like, nah, she's the employee of the last 3 months. And then it's like they're talking and talking and talking, and then they're like, turn the mic to me, basically. And I literally replied and said, I feel like a person opening gifts in front of people on Christmas. Like, why did I need to say that? Like, obviously I was deflecting, but it's true. You're like sitting there like, what the fuck? What do you even say now? Like it's like, what worthiness of receiving. So like I wanted to be appreciated. I was seeking appreciation, and I'm getting it like 10 damn fold. I've worked there for like 5 months and I've been an employee the last 3. So like, I don't even know how that works, but whatever, so like woo, it was a beautiful thing. And what's working is working, and it's wonderful. And I was very appreciated, and I've keep getting crazy compliments all of a sudden. And but then I'm still in a place where I'm like, okay, now how do I even receive that? Like, are we all sick? Like I think about like, are you feeling all right? But that's what came up for me is like not even just giving, but the receiving end of it.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting because there's such a level of, I see a lot of this in people, and I see it in myself at times too,
Hmm.
where just receiving a compliment and receiving it fully, we feel uncomfortable. And
Hmm.
I've really worked on that, where if somebody gives me a compliment, I just really try to take it as a genuine compliment and thank them for that.
Hmm.
Thank you for that. Period. Thank
Yeah.
you, period.
Yeah.
Because in my younger years, if I would receive a compliment, I would do one of two things. I would downplay it,
Hmm.
downplay whatever the compliment was about, or I would accept the compliment kind of, and then try to give them a compliment back, which had no authenticity to it at all, right? It was tit
I
for
like
tat
your
bullshit.
I like your
Yeah.
button. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Your
You like my
button's cool.
earrings? Oh my God. Yeah. Your necklace is beautiful. I love your shoes. I mean,
I love your
it's,
shoelaces.
yeah. And it is interesting though why we do it. But deeper than that, what you just talked about, like when you do receive this level of affirmation around something, one of the things that I've uncovered now that I can actually just sit in the energy of receiving it
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
fear. And I thought about that recently. If you do a good job and you get accolades, where's the fear? I'm thinking, oh my God, can I sustain this? That's
Yeah,
where my
is
fear
it true?
comes in.
That's how I
Is this,
feel. Like, who the
yeah,
hell gets hired and then they go deem you queen for 3 months and you're like, fuck, I just started. Like, well, damn, I don't know how to keep going from here. And then I like self
exactly.
sabotage. Then you're just like then I go and like screw the website up, and then I spiral. It's like, how do I just start breaking things? Like, how do I just, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, damn, what do I do now? How do you go up?
It is self sabotage. It really is. It's self sabotage. And exactly what you say, the self sabotage starts immediately. When you let that fear enter, I've had this
Hmm.
happen to me so many times. I've gotten the accolades, let the fear enter, and then the next day I'm facing some fuck up I did. I'm like,
That's what
see,
happened.
I knew I
So
couldn't sustain this. Well, your self prophecies are always coming true because you're a creator of your existence, right? I get it. I get exactly what you're saying.
Oh, that's what I did. I did it like within 2 days. I broke the website and then I'm crying. I cried. I was crying. And I told Blake, now they're going to pink slip me. He's like, you are so crazy. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you don't. He's like, no, they're not. He's like, and it wasn't like the worst. It really wasn't that big of a deal, but it caused some IT people to have a lot of stress in their life on a Friday evening. Let's just be honest. But you're exactly right. I mean, it was like I've been getting compliments about the thing that I did for weeks now. Okay. And it's been really cool. And I can say yeehaw, blah, 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 through chat, right? Then this is like video chat in person because I'm fully remote, right? And I didn't know how to accept it. So then I started getting fearful. And because people kept talking
Mm-hmm.
about it for like days and days. And then within 2 days, I fucked up. Within two
Yep.
days.
Yep.
And then I'm like, well, there it goes. Look, balloons. See, and right there, it was like, good job. Great. Not
I
getting the
think
President's
it's
Club now, going on a cruise. So they're going to ground
no,
me.
no trip to Hawaii. I think it just is, it shows you, I truly believe this, and we've talked about this before. There are levels to us, right? There are levels to our learning, there's levels to our advancement,
Mm,
there's levels to your vibration. And when that happens, it just shows you that there's still work to do in that level of really having the true worthiness of your
mhm.
authenticity and trusting yourself. It always comes back to self, right?
Yeah.
And so it just, for me, when I've had those experiences, it's like, okay, you've still got some work to do. And the work is diving in and acknowledging what still has to be reviewed or acknowledged or looked at or
Yeah.
felt or whatever it is. And that's the only way you're going to shift that fully.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the conversation. Because again, so
Yeah,
look at us. But awareness,
I know.
I just thought, I
We're,
like, fuck, I was like, ah, well, here I go. you know, but now I see I did it to myself. So good to know.
Yeah. Fun times, right?
Yeah. We're very human people. So yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I'm very, very human.
Yeah.
I prove it to myself all the time.
Yeah, no, you're right. And what's really cool though is, you know, it's interesting because receiving has been a common theme for me pretty much this whole year. It's not an issue with receiving, but it's an issue of like actually accepting what you're receiving. Like, and it goes back to being worthy. It goes back to the fear. It goes back to those things. So I really think that there's something with that. You know, maybe we make an episode about it or something about like, what do you do when you receive? Because you know what I mean? Like, we're not always, but I mean, I'm always manifesting something, right? You know, and as we speak things into existence. We're
Hmm.
looking whatever it is, you know, opportunities, abundance, growth, happiness, whatever. And when you get it though, then what do you do with it? Like, you know what I mean? You know,
I
so
do.
that's a really interesting theme that it keeps coming up, and it's a really interesting thing to think about, even just as normal as a compliment. You know, there's nothing crazy about a compliment. There's nothing, you know, over the top about a compliment or an award or an accolade or whatever it is, you know, and it's like just being able to receive that is interesting. Like, what do you do with it?
I think that would be good to dive in deeper. Lee, I believe the issue is one, we just talked about your shadow, but I think it's usually deeper than that. It's our deep-seated programming from an ancestral line.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think about when you think about familiar energy, the word family is in
Yeah.
there. And how you grow up is how you're unless you're making big strides to shift energy, you're going to keep
Hmm.
seeking that out. And, you know, most of us, and I know for me, we were never modeled confidence and acceptance and
Hmm.
things are going to be okay. So, like, for me, I think about some of the things that I was told in my childhood, right? Well, if things are too good, the other shoe's going to drop eventually, right? So
Hmm.
it's almost, you know, those deep seated programmings are within us
Yeah.
too, right? Where our central nervous system is uncomfortable
Yeah.
with the success, with things being joyful, things being comfortable, things kind of flowing.
Yeah.
And those things start to come up in the subconscious. You know,
Hmm.
it's not going to last forever, you know,
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Well, it's
I
the
think that's part of
cycles.
the problem.
Yeah, and
Yes,
it's the cycles we want to keep ourselves in because they're familiar, they're comfortable. So we
exactly.
just keep, like when you get a bunch of money and your tire blows, or you know, or whatever, your
Yeah.
appliances start breaking, as you get a bonus and your fridge goes out, or even those types of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This happens all the time. One of my friends was just telling me this. I don't think she's viewing it as her cycle of energy around money at all.
yeah,
But, you know, she had all of the, like, her car blew up, and but then she'd just gotten this money to pay for it, but then she wanted to save the money, but she couldn't because she had to pay
yeah,
for the repairs to certain things, right?
yeah,
That is your energy patterns playing out, right? And it's
yeah.
showing you something because nothing is happening coincidentally,
Oh no, no,
you
no.
know, and it's just not. And I thought about that a little bit today because I really worked. I'm kind of one of those, I've used to be much worse than I am today. Like if I have something planned, I
Hmm.
like to finish the plan. You
Yeah,
know, I'm not good at diverting my plan.
yeah,
And yesterday I had a plan for what I was going to do after work, and the plan got changed. And at first, I was a little irritable about the plan getting
yeah,
changed. But then as the evening went on, and I could see I had so much appreciation for the things that I did get to do and the
yeah,
reasons why.
mhm,
And so it just was a reminder to me to take some of my own advice sometimes.
yeah,
How is this working for me? Not how poor Tressa didn't get to go do what Tressa wanted to do. Why is
yeah,
the universe plotting against me? And it
yeah,
actually was a perfect way the evening flowed that I couldn't have even, you know, manifested on my own. So
yeah.
just how is this serving me versus why is this happening to
Happening
me?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was great. Do you have anything? Now I'm going to have to go
No.
watch this movie, but I don't have Netflix. So,
Yeah, you should. You should find it, or you should at least listen to
yeah.
the soundtrack. You will
Yeah.
not be disappointed. It's
Yeah.
cute, and
This sounds up my alley.
there's honestly this cute derpy tiger. No, you're good. It's a cute little derpy tiger, and honestly, I laugh because Tressa and I have a mutual energy acquaintance. I don't even know a person. We know the same person, and I've laughed because she's obsessed with the derpy tiger too, and so is my.
Wow, I've got a lot of stuff coming out, people. Like once the energy starts coming out, I just couldn't stop it. I'm good
No,
now, though. It's gone.
that was beautiful. We're clearing air. We're clearing space.
We're definitely clearing. So yeah. So anyway, our mutual friend.
Yes, our mutual friend likes the derpy tiger, and so does Magnolia. That's her favorite character, is this fucking tiger, and it's cute as hell, and like
Oh,
this little bird with a hat. And so, like, there's just a whole level of things. So, if you have Netflix, it is worth the watch, folks. Or go on YouTube, listen to the songs. They're on Spotify. They're great. They're all great. There's several other ones that are very empowering and have wonderful messages. Literally, probably one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, besides like Wicked. But I like the themes of Wicked too, which are very similar. But anywho, I don't need to get into
yeah.
that. Like there's a whole, those songs make me emotional also for other reasons. Yeah, but this is, yeah, like if you want a movie that you feel that is, it's an animated movie, right? But it's got a lot of good themes, and there's a reason it's very popular with children and adults.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, we'll find it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
All right, it's worth it. Well, until next time, keep your vibrations high.
And stay sassy.